Hello, Shin here, and welcome to We Happy Few. As you can see, this is the maiden home update. There are approximately 2 more updates planned before the official release, in which they plan to add another island, which will be the final island, a few other things. But the game has been out for about a year now, in early access, and it is amazingly addictive. It's a survival game, it's a crafting game, it's a fun game, until you get beaten up and die. At any rate, we are going to start a new game, and we'll try 5. As you can see, Shadow's been playing for quite a while. At this time, you can only play as Arthur. There will be 3 main characters, I believe, in the final release, as well as a full story mode. Now we've got 3 options here. Birdwatcher, explore the world with just enough challenge to keep it fun. Downer, which is what Shadow picked. More dangerous world where mistakes have consequences. Vigilante. The game is trying to kill you, politely, with better sticks. I think I'm going to go with Downer as well. Just because Downer sounds like a good balance. Vigilante, I'm not that good in combat. In any game. And Birdwatcher, well, might be good for a one-off, but not for a series, so let's do that. Okay. Permadeath. Death is final. You must start again from the beginning. I don't like that idea. However, second win. Death is temporary. You wake up with a terrible headache. This works for me. Sounds like work, too. Okay, we have a choice here. We can do the prologue, where our hero goes to an office party and things become awkward. Or, our hero can wake up in the Garden District without the awkwardness. Well, since this is a walkthrough, well, playthrough, not walkthrough, let's go ahead and do the prologue. There's not much, well, it gives a little bit of backstory, so, yeah. Let's go. Now, the loading time on this is, to say the least. But, well, we might not really get out and do a whole lot this episode. We will at least get the first story item done. There are some main plot lines and some secondary quests and such. One thing I've learned from Shadow is that you need to explore every island thoroughly, and you need to do it systematically because it's so easy to get lost, especially when you have more than one island. Happy is the country with no past.
Oh, heavens no. Oh, God. should just take my joy, shouldn't I?
And now we have the very first thing we can do. We can take our joy, or we can remember. I've always wondered what would happen if we take the joy. And you know what it's like to remember. But let's take the joy.
Right. Happiness is a choice. Snug as a bug on a drug.
And that is the end. So let's go ahead and do this again. Incidentally, there are videos showing you how to do that, but I just wanted to see it myself for the first time. I've watched those videos. So we're going back in. And this time we will not take the joy. And get on with it. Incidentally, this game takes place in the 60s, I believe 1964. And essentially, Brexit has happened in a weird way. Germany won the war. America and Germany were nowhere to be found. And this small series of islands somewhere near the coast of England, in a river mouth, are isolated from the rest of the world and ruled by this wonderful drug. If you ever have a chance, pause the video and read those, because they're actually kind of fascinating. And don't mind the Dalek in the corner.
Oh, heavens no. Oh, God. I should just take my joy, shouldn't I?
And of course, this time we shan't take the joy.
Percy! Percy!
What have you been up to? No one's seen you for hours.
Ah, nose to the grindstone, you know.
Then why haven't I heard a single whoosh through the door since 10 o'clock? Did you forget we're having Deirdre's birthday party?
Oh.
We've got a piñata.
Right. Brilliant. Of course.
Have you forgotten your joy?
Of course not. Snug as a bug on a drug.
Well, come on then, finish up.
Just have a few more pages. I know you're very busy.
Then don't take too long to finish.
Aha! The power cell's empty.
Well, what will you do?
I'll get a new one.
She's quite annoying. They don't like that she watches us. It's almost like she doesn't believe we're doing this.
We're brothers.
Censor.
I'll always look after you, you know that.
You see? The path is a garden, Arthur, and you have to pull out the weeds to grow anything nice. Well, I expect you in the conference room presently. Don't dawdle. You don't want to miss the piñata.
Wasn't Prudence supposed to be coming back today? I made her a welcome back card.
I'll just accept that. Nobody will know. Okay, let's get out of here. Can we get that pill? Nah, it won't let us. Okay. I mean, it never hurts to have a little joy, just in case. You must love the architecture out there. Wellington Wells is the series of islands that we are on. And beauty is truth is, well...
Do you think the canister wonders what life's like outside the tube? Of course, he'd have to break the tube to get out. That would break it for everybody.
I'd love to get in there, but as you can see, we can't.
Clive birth whistle. You're off at the party, aren't you?
As we play through the game, we can get a lot of lore, which we can check up on. So it doesn't hurt to check for documents. And I'm not going to bother to read all of them, I've already done so. Restricted area. No unauthorized personnel beyond this point. Who cares? I'm going beyond the point anyway.
That little shit. He wants my view.
Let's get the power cell. Why? Because we can. The one important thing that we just saw, they were trying to
Whatever happened to you, Prudence?
they were basically trying to conspire to get rid of each other.
You're not coming back, are you, Prue? But where did you go?
And this is something else we will see a lot of in this game. When someone dies, they are simply known to go on holiday.
Are you off your joy, Prue? I mean, you too.
So Prudence never returned, and she went on holiday. So that should tell you something right there. And yes, I think these are slightly outdated. Okay, onward and over. Gotta love how the plaque is there, just to remind us.
I did take them. No, leave me alone. I took my joy. No, leave me alone. No. Oh, hi, Arthur.
Well, of course we can't get in there. And I hear Uncle Jack.
We seem to be a bit behind in our work now that you mention it.
If you thought your TV was big, think again.
You're eating bread and meat and you're not having a traditional English 2-veg. Some of you aren't even eating your potatoes. Imagine that. Well, bread does not contain vitamin C. And if you're eating millet bread or moss cakes, while they taste perfectly acceptable, they're not good sources of the C. And I'm sad to say, though I'm quite a taste of it, victory meat does not contain any vitamin C at all.
I'm not going to spend too much time with Uncle Jack right now. If you play the game, there are quite a few...
Odd. I never noticed
Oops.
that. We should fix that, or empty the bucket at least.
Yes. So anyway... there are plenty of recordings of Uncle Jack, and they're actually rather interesting. He's one of the more entertaining characters in the game.
There you are. You nearly missed the piñata. It's the most adorable Spanish custom. Uncle Jack did a whole show about it. You smash it until all the candy comes out. Come on, hit it! Hit it! Hit it!
Give it a whack!
Hit it!
You are off your joy. Take
Oh
one of
dear.
mine. Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
Probably a bad time to ask for that raise.
Jumping in this game can be a little bit finicky places, as you can see.
To think I used to do track and field.
Also, the bobbies are not very polite in this game.
Got a downer here, haven't we? Put that down! I'll flip you!
Not very polite at all.
Flaming Nora. Forget it, there's no time.
So the essential idea is that everyone takes this wonder drug called joy, which makes you happy, and essentially erases, or at least covers up, your memories. So you can't remember anything unpleasant, and sometimes anything happy. Downers are people who, for one reason or another, do not take their joy. It may be by choice, or it might be for some other reason. Some actually have a very violent reaction where if they take the joy, the opposite happens, and they spiral into a horrible depression, and have nightmares and all sorts of other things. But that is the essence of that. Now as the world generates, which again takes a while, we will head in. and complete our first story option. I do like the prologue. I actually would like to spend a lot of time in the prologue at some point and just see if I can read the headlines, listen more to Uncle Jack. That's not very entertaining in a playthrough, now is it? One thing I like about the loading screen is just looking at the wreckage of the buildings. In fact, there's a lot of signs of the war in the game. If you look around, in some cases you don't have to look around. Now, one thing that has transpired that did not exist in the 60s that I know of is a unique form of energy. And this energy is, well, and here we are in the Wellington Underground. Story goal is to find our way up and out.
Well, I'm not getting out that way.
And of course we can't go that way. So let's go this way. Wear your safety helmet and gloves at all times. We don't have a safety helmet or gloves. This right here happens to actually be the energy. Can't get out that way.
Bobbies seem to have locked me in. I suppose they were worried about the gas. Terribly thoughtful of them.
Which means we must go down here. Let's take a look in our inventory at the moment. We have nothing there. We managed to get some jerky, which I believe we actually got from the dead rat that everybody imagined was a pinata. We've got a lead pipe which does a lot of good damage. We should try to hold on to it though. Just saw a rat run away. Q button activates our weapon. Healing bomb, that's very useful. I'm going to put the jerky in our inventory. Incidentally, for those of you who do not like this type of inventory system, they are changing it in the next release. Personally, I kind of enjoy it, but I can understand why they're changing it.
Feel better. Pop a few extra joy today, and I bet in the morning you won't even remember what you were so upset about. I'm so glad I was able to help. Well, I did so enjoy hearing from all of you, my dear listeners. Yes, I love these letters. This one is from Mr. Fitzroy Diggs.
The mechanical station will help us to actually create various items.
I haven't been feeling entirely well these past few days.
Let's go and
I feel
look
rather
at our
tired,
journal
and
moment.
it's hard to get out of bed. So I asked my husband to get this letter.
This is our story goal.
Oh dear. I hope this isn't going to be a medical question.
Where the hell am I? Somewhere under the garden district, I think. I suppose I won't know till I get topside. I need to find some way up and out.
On the roof across from my bedroom, I've noticed an awful lot of chickens. They just fly up there and watch me through my open window. The peculiar thing is, they're all black with sharp black beaks, and all they do all day is go caw, caw, caw. Why are there chickens on my neighbor's roof? I've never noticed them there before. Dear Mr. Diggs, I think it's likely that those are not chickens at all, but rather I think they might be crows. Crows are blackbirds that sit on rooftops rather than caw. Now they may have noticed that you're
There
not
we go.
staring from your bed.
3 years of the salamander and me getting into constant trouble finally pay off.
Isn't that sweet of them, eh? But I'm
Okay,
worried about
made
that
some
open window of
lockpicks.
yours. You don't want to catch a cold, eh, from the draft? Perhaps you can ask your husband to shut it.
Let's see what's in here. And yes, you can find useful things in toilets for some reason. Bandages are very useful. We do have taps. An empty pill bottle. Okay. This is something important. The suit will not suit us. So let's go over here and craft. We need a sewing kit to get a torn suit. We're going to need the torn suit. If you look on the upper left, the heart is our health, and the eye means we are rather conspicuous at the moment. Door is locked, so let's use our
I
lockpick.
need some odds and bobs and bits of metal to make a lockpick.
Now, what have we in here?
What happened to him? Or rather, who?
Let's see if he has anything on him. An apple and a power cell. Well, an empty power cell. Oh, as you've noticed, we somehow managed to not retain the full power cell that we had. To throw him up here because I don't want flies in my home. I hate flies. So you go away. Let's take a look at our new little territory here. It's looking kind of nice, cozy, and unusually happy in there. We don't have a key card. Limit joy to once per hour. That is actually very important information. You can overdose in this game, and it is bad. Door is locked. So let's use our little toy here. And now it's unlocked. Those are single use only, but the good news is we will eventually be able to build more.
We've come to the end of our time. We've come to the end of our time. We've come to the end of our...
Let's get rid of him.
That's the first fight I've won since primary school. Actually, I think it's the first fight I've been in since primary
We
school.
are in terrible health at the moment. So let's get him out of here. And we'll see what we can do about healing. Note where it says deceased, you can actually render some people unconscious. And if you get behind them, you can actually do a takedown, which chokes them, but does not kill them. It just knocks them unconscious, and after that, well, it's usually a good idea to get rid of them somehow. Let's get the power on.
Well. The show where we talk about how to be your physical best. Now, some of you have written in about feeling malaise and lethargy. And these are the symptoms, and the first thing I
much down.
If you're feeling a bit down in the dumps, pop another joy.
Let's see what we've gotten here. Got a carrot. Unfortunately, we can't go through there. Let's see what's on this end.
Thanks to modern English science, we have the perfect fix for the claws.
Empty joy dispenser.
Your joy. Only you know how much you need, or just ask a doctor and he'll fix you right up. Even if you've got to ask him to.
Lots of rotten carrots. We will be using a lot of rotten food to survive.
Let's say you feel perfectly happy.
I know they come in chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry flavors.
What could it be?
So if you do not like
Ask yourself,
your vanilla joy, you can have chocolate or strawberry.
are you having trouble
Personally, I feel that chocolate always gives me joy, so
bruise easily? Are your teeth
not sure I would need a pill.
when you're under 70 years old? Is your mouth often dry?
Oops.
Do you have scorbutic tongue? Other symptoms you might have are red spots on the skin, especially on your legs that look like this.
Okay, let's head back.
Do you find your muscles are sore even when you haven't been overusing them? Well, you may have scurvy.
This area is now safe for us.
This is one of our traditional English enemies, and like all traditional English enemies, we've beaten it before. Yes, and we'll beat it again.
Let's see if there's anything else around here.
England has traditionally ruled the seas. Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. And that means that our ships have traditionally been out at sea for long stretches at a time.
Theodore's diary.
Doing some salt pork right now. But if you eat nothing but, you're going to get sick. You see,
And this, again, you can read this, pause it and read it, or if you wish to play the game and read it then. These do have a lot of interesting backstory. But the very interesting thing is that Theodore was not, he was taking his joy, but it wasn't working. Let's take our bomb. Feel a little bit better. And this, by the way, is another important factor in the game. It is our pneumatic stash. This works somewhat like storage chests in various games. Essentially what it does, when you use it, it will actually store your items, and if you go somewhere else that has a pneumatic stash, it will be able to access those very same items. We need a sewing kit, which I have not seen. Look at it go. I was hoping there might be something left over around here. I'm not seeing it. Oh well. Motaline, the fuel of the future. I still don't know where they got it from, but oh well. Wednesday the 2nd of September. Something important to know. And let's go up top side for a moment. We don't want to spend too much time out here because we are very low on health and very obvious. Now our story goal is to reach St. George's Hole, but we are obviously not going to go there anytime very soon. There's a lot of randomness in this game, so we're going to have to do some exploration. One thing to keep in mind, though, in these, let's pull up the map. You always have squares in the towns, and depending upon, it's randomly generated every single game, and sometimes in the same game. If you take too many joy pills at once, you will actually have the entire map remade, and you will wake up and you'll have to explore all over again. Simply because you can't remember where you've been. But as you can see, we have our safe house and the water right here, and this is a little area which, again, is rather safe. As long as we're back there, nobody will spot us.
I don't know whether to think about him in the present tense or the past tense.
I don't see anybody here, so let's take a quick look up here and see what we can spot.
I used to wear clothes.
Oh, somebody suspects us. So we'll just run back in here. These are important. They bloom only at night. You'll find there are a few flowers that bloom that you will want to pick plenty of. Those ones are actually very useful for healing. Let's get a drink. And we'll go back in. Now, if we are being chased, we can't escape by going down our hatch, and they'll ignore us, which is always a happy thing. But for now, I see it's almost 40 minutes, so that's a long time for the intro. I think we're going to call it just a
Hush,
we're gonna call it a
says the
night.
sun, as it tucks me into bed.
Speaking of which, it is getting dark. The bobbies will be running around on topside, so it's not very safe to roam around. So yes, let's go and get some sleep for the night. And at the same time, I think this should be good for this episode. So until next time, don't forget to take your joy, and we'll see you all again very, very soon.
Sweet dreams, Arthur.